We'll never make it, Zoe said. We're moving too slowly. But we cannot leave the fellow tourists. Moo! Bessie said. He swam next to me as we joggled along the waterfront. We'd left the shopping center Pera far behind. We were heading towards the Golden Gate Bridge, but it was a lot farther than I realized. The sun was already dipping in the west. I don't get it, I said. Why do we have to get there at sunset? The happiest of the needs of the sunset, Zoe said. We can only enter the garden as they change tonight. What happened if we missed it? Tomorrow is winter solstice. If we miss the sunset tonight, we would have to wait until tomorrow evening. And by then, the Olympic Council will be over. We must free Lady Artemis tonight, or Annabeth will be dead, I thought. But I didn't say that. We need a car, Thalia said. But how about Bessie? I asked. Grover stopped in his tracks. I've got an idea. The of your tourists can appear in different bodies of water, right? Well, yeah, I said. I mean, he was in Long Island Sound. Then he just popped into the water of Hoover Dam. And now he's here. So maybe we could coax him back to Long Island Sound, Grover said. Then Chiron could help us get him to Olympus. But he was showing me, I said. If I'm not there, would he know where he's going? Moo, Bessie said fondly. I can show him, Grover said. I'll go with him. I stared at him. Grover was no fan of the water. He'd almost drowned last summer in the Sea of Monsters. He couldn't swim very well with his goat hooves. I'm the only one who can talk to him, Grover said. It makes sense. He bent down and said something in Bessie's ear. Bessie shivered, then made a content lowing sound. The blessing of the wild, Grover said. That would help this safe passage. Percy, pray to your dad too. See if he grant us safe passage through the seas. I didn't understand how they could possibly swim back to Long Island from California. Then again, monsters didn't travel the same way as humans. I'd seen plenty of evidence of that. I tried to concentrate on the waves, the smell of the ocean, the sound of the tide. Dad, I said, help us. All of your tourists and Grovers safely to camp. Protect them at sea. A prayer like to need a sacrifice, Thalia said. Something big. I thought for a second. Then I took off my coat. Percy, Grover said, are you sure? That lion skin. Said that's really helpful. Hercules used it. As soon as he said that, I realized something. I glanced at Zoe, who was watching me carefully. I realized I did know who Zoe's hero had been. The one who ruined her life, got kicked out of her family and never even mentioned how she'd helped him. Hercules, a hero I'd admired all my life. If I'm going to suffer, I said, it won't because I've got a lion skin cloak. I'm not Hercules. He threw the coat into the bay. It turned back into a golden lion skin, flashing in the light. Then, as it began to silk beneath the waves, it seemed to dissolve into sunlight on the water. sea breeze picked up. Grover took a deep breath. Well, no time to lose. He jumped into the water and immediately began to sink. Bessie glided next to him and let Grover take hold of his neck. Be careful, I told them. We will, Grover said. Okay, Bessie, we're going to Long Island. It's east, over that way. Moo? Bessie said. Yes, Grover answered. Long Island is this island, and it's long. Let's just start. Moo! Les lurched forward. He started to submerge, and Grover said, I can't breathe underwater, just what I'd mentioned. Glump. Under they went, and I hoped my father's protection would extend a little of little things, like breathing. Well, that is one problem addressed, Zoe said. But how can we get to my sister's garden? Thalia's right, I said. We need a car, but there's no one to help us here unless we, borrowed one. I didn't like that option. I mean, sure, this was a life or death situation, but still, it was stealing. And it was bound to get us noticed. Wait, Thalia said. She started riffling through her backpack. There's someone in San Francisco who can help us. I've got an address here somewhere. Who? I asked. Thalia put up a crumpled piece of notebook paper and held it up. Professor Chase, Annabeth's dad. After Annabeth's grip about her dad for 2 years, I was expecting him have devil horns and fangs. I was not expecting him to wear an old-fashioned aviator cap and goggles. He looked so weird, with his eyes buggling out through the glasses, that we all took a step back on the front porch. Hello, he said in a friendly voice. Are you delivering my airplanes? Thalia, Zoe, and I looked at each other earnestly. No, sir, I said. Drat, he said. I need 3 more subway camels. That's right, I said. Sure, I had no clue what he was talking about. We are friends of Annabeth. Annabeth? He straightened up as I'd just given him an electric shock. Is she all right? Has something happened? None of us answered, but our face must have told him that something was really wrong. He took off his cap and goggles. He had sandy-colored hair, like Annabeth, and intense brown eyes. He was handsome, I guess, for an older guy, but it looked like he hadn't shaved in a couple of days, and skirts was buttoned wrong, so his side of his collar stuck up higher than the other side. You'd better come in, he said.